all of the blue. Isn't it great? So yeah, guys, she passed the inspection. I'm so relieved. I was really nervous. I didn't think it was actually going to go through with those poly bushes that I fitted, that some of you would have seen in a previous video. Yeah, it wasn't until after I'd done the job that I learned that they're not really allowed here. Certain poly bushes are, but they've got to be a certain type and they've got to come with certain types of paperwork and be checked. Yeah, those didn't, the ones I fitted, of course, so I suppose technically it shouldn't have gone through, but luckily I had a lenient tester. It's always what we hope for, isn't it? And yeah, Emily, he was in a really bad mood, and I thought, that's it, it's over, I'm screwed. But I think it was just because it was the end of the day. He just wanted to get home, I think, so he just signed it off. He was happy enough with it. So yeah, major relief. So yeah, now still lots more to do on this thing. Yeah, obviously, even that, just because it's roadworthy, that's only just the beginning. We've got a lot to do, so let's crack on. So yeah, rear springs. These are a nuisance because these retaining brackets, you'll see the problem. Obviously you need to clean up this thread as much as possible beforehand, which I did do. Well, as much as possible might be a stretch, but yeah, had a good go anyway. And then you end up with this problem. Hopefully you can see that this part is spinning. I wish they had have put a nut on the other side. Bring you guys in a little bit. But it's not, it's a circle thing. It's just a stud. So you can't put nothing on it. And that's just, the bolts, the nuts are tight as hell as well. Some WD in there, so then you can see it's starting to creep behind the nut a little bit and hopefully work its way down the threads. I think part of the problem as well is because there's so much underseal on the thread. I did try and clean it up a bit, but I think it may have, yeah, may have undone a little bit, and then it's, yeah, now it's sort of worked its way onto the underseal, so it's kind of acting as a bit of a thread locker, and I think there's nylon already in the nut, so yeah, it's like double trouble. Sorry, you probably don't want me moaning into your ears like it's a porn film. Nothing worse than the guy behind the camera. It's just like, can't watch it. Not that I watch it anyway, but is that, yeah, that's going. We love a bit of WD, don't we? Or is the whole thing spinning there? Oh yeah, the whole thing. Oh no. Yeah, the whole thread is spinning inside the thing. Oh, that's annoying. So 17 hours later, and this is the latest approach. I've got the saw in between the the base of the retaining bracket plate thing and the trailing arm, and I'm trying to go through the stud in between the gap. So typically you miss the best part. As the spring comes up here, so basically went underneath like that, and so I could go through this stud. Yeah, all for want of just, you know, a hexagonal head that you can put a socket on. So this will infuriate some of you, but instead of doing the right thing and hitting out this stud and fitting a normal nut and bolt into here, instead I'm actually just going to fit it as it is, even though I don't want to. And the reason for that is I don't actually have a good bolt to go through these. I can't just go to the shop because they're all closed, and I don't know why I pointed the camera over there. And yeah, I don't want to order something online because I need to get this done. And apologies to either my future self or the next guy that's going to have to remove these, and he's going to have the same problem with this spinning. Hopefully not. Yeah, anyway, sorry not sorry. Well, I am a bit sorry actually. Bit of fluid film. Just to help with the corrosion. So yeah, you may or may not be pleased to know that you won't have to see my crusty, horrible trainers close up in your face in future videos, because they've just died a death. Actually, I think it's just like shed a skin, you know? It's like a spider. So I might get a wet toe, but apart from that, I'll get another 6 months out of them. Right, so let's see how we do on this side then. It's turning, and it's not spinning yet. it's definitely seen better days, but I'm quite impressed that the stud didn't spin It's seen better days, but I'm quite impressed that the stud didn't spin. It's pretty cool. Wagon springs appear to be a little bit shorter, but obviously when you think, I mean, I can't show you, but this is much heavier. The weight difference, I mean, how much that weighs compared to that one, I mean, it's a big difference. Yeah, it's really a lot. This one feels like it's about half the weight. I mean, it's not, but you know, it's like that kind of difference. It's a big difference. Even though it seems shorter initially, obviously it's not going to compress as much, and it's going to be much firmer. Yeah, I definitely noticed it in the ride. I mean, yeah, putting these springs on the saloon, you know, and if you've got nothing in the back and you go over a bump or something like that, I mean, it's rock hard, it's rock solid. So for everyday use, yeah, it was just way too firm. And these are you can see they're just much thinner, much, it's going to compress way better. Yeah, big difference. Well, this is where I need you guys. She actually looks too low again on the rear, but I don't know if that's because it's been so much higher. Same as when I first put the wagon springs in, it looked too high, but way higher than it was because it was so low before. So yeah, I'm confused. What do you think of that? It probably helps if I bring you in a bit closer. Obviously the rear is much lower than the front. Now admittedly the ground isn't the most level. Is that normal? Ride height? I mean, it looks good, that's for sure. It looks much better now. It looks cool again. But I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's, maybe those springs are slightly lower. I'm going to let you guys decide on that. Yeah, I mean, for me it's perfect. Anyway, you know, I'm really happy. I think it looks great. But whether it's correct or not, and whether that actually the back is sitting low. Because obviously what I'm thinking about now is as soon as I start filling the back up with stuff, you know, it's a huge trunk, as you know, so once I've got a few bodies in there, you know, a few of the boys in the back, how low is it going to sit? It's like, I think it's going to be quite a lot. I think it's going to be like bad. So yeah, what do you think?
Oh yeah, much better. Feels normal again now. Doesn't feel like it's kind of stood up on its back legs. And yeah, much softer. Yeah, don't put Wagon springs on your 240 saloon. No, it's not a good idea. The saloons are supposed to have saloon springs, definitely.